Hello, YouTube.com. It is a guy on the internet named Ojama Garrett, and on this channel, I wanted to just document a kind of as a this is my intro video. Sorry, I'm stumbling. I'm just trying to shoot this raw, put it up, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Nobody really reads this, but this channel I wanted to make about Bible reading and just like Bible discussion, yada yada yada. And essentially, it would be kind of cool to get the entire Bible read through and have it on YouTube to have just as another way for me to read the Bible, have it in my daily schedule again, and then continue to grow in my faith. So yeah, so that's what this is, and so I'll just start from the beginning. Start with Genesis 1, the new NIV, New International Version. We're just gonna run it out. Maybe I'll read it and then just maybe give some little bit of commentary at the end, or whatever it jumps out at me. But you want to join along? Maybe make this part of your daily schedule as well. Just like listening to whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Wherever it goes doesn't really matter. I'm also doing this for me, but it'd be kind of cool if to grow this up into a little thing too. That'd be kind of cool. A little, I don't know. That'd be super cool. Anyway, so here we go. NIV, Genesis 1, the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. So that'd be like the atmosphere. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, the land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it, according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening. And there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night." Okay, so this is where, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be light in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vaults of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. So I just want to stop because the vault I was assuming was the atmosphere, but now I feel it is wrong because here it's saying lights in the vault of the sky to separate the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night. So let me just go right back up here. Sorry. I was wrong. Okay, so sorry. This just completely threw off the whatever. So let's just go back into it. Sorry. And God said, "Let water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, and he said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish of the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth and all the birds in the sky and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food. And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. So I think this part of Genesis would be an argument for veganism being veganism being the main diet of humanity prior to the fall of man. But anyway, I just want to kind of go back to the vault real quick. And I'm only 5 minutes in, so I think I will read Genesis 2. But I want to kind of explore the vault. Okay, so we got light. We created heavens and earth. Earth was formless and empty. Whatever. Light. And then now we have light, so now we can see things. And darkness. Light is like the thing that flies all over the earth and kind of like transmits information back and forth. Darkness is just the void of light, I guess. No information observing, you could say darkness is, maybe? Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm just interpreting. I'm trying to interpret. Anyway. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters, separate the water from water. Vault between the waters. Okay. Vault separated the water under the vault from the water above it. Is that saying gases? Because like that is kind of like the atmosphere, and then there is gases and massive amounts of it in the universe. So maybe that's what this is describing. I think this is where the flat earthers get the idea that the universe around us is just water. When they look at the waves of comets and stuff going by and stuff like that, it just looks like splashes in the sky and shit. But yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to like discern here. The water under the sky be gathered in one place and let dry ground under the sky. Right, so under the sky. So I think it is describing space, gases, atmosphere. I think that's what the vaults are. So then like the vaults are like the walls of our universe or something. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. That's a little bit too abstract for me to really get into. So let's just hop into Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all of his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work creating that he had done. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. Yeah, I think they're okay. So I was trying to remember, I didn't want to say anything in the previous chapter, but I don't think rain comes until after the flood. So there is no rain. We just have a bunch of water, but no rain. Does that mean earth isn't like, what would that imply? That there's no heat on the earth to, well, I guess so it wouldn't imply anything. It would just imply that these mechanics don't yet exist. What is that called? Precipitation, evaporation, all that stuff. Okay, anyway, yeah. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. There it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of the land is good, aromatic resin. And onyx are also there. So this is good smelling gold. It's kind of awkward, but whatever. The name of the second river is Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris. It runs along the east side of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. I wonder what these words mean, because like they all have titles and stuff like that. They didn't mean them, and like all titles and names and stuff, etymologies in the words. They always root back to just like describing something, like adjectives to describe something. But anyway, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And then the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. The Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them, and whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. Right. Take that, bestiality people. Sorry. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh." This is one of the laws of marriage, meaning you cannot be married until your relationship is outside of your parents' control. Anyway, Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Cool. Wish I could. Anyway, let's just keep running it down. I got a few minutes. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman also said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat from the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." "You will not certainly die," the serpent said to the woman, "for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then I like this quickly. All this is going down, and Adam's just standing there, like, watching them talk. Anyway, it's really funny. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. And the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you were in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some of the fruit of the tree, and I ate it." And then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said to the serpent, "Deceived me, so I ate." And then the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust for all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, you will strike his heel." To the woman he said, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children." Oh, wow. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since you were from it you are taken. For the dust you are, and the dust you will return." Adam named his wife Eve, and because she would become the mother of all living. People, I assume. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. Garments of skin is really interesting. Look up Jonathan Pageau. Anybody who sees this, or just a reference to myself in case I forget about him. Garments of skin, Jonathan Pageau. Okay, I got a minute and a half. And the Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever." So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim, a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way of the tree of life. And that is it. I got a minute. Get my thoughts real quick. I think the Genesis account is very interesting. I think it's like the best foundation for all stories to be written. And I think it's like just a very interesting. It's so interesting to me, all this stuff, and seeing the parallels of like this story to like what science has discovered. And I just think it's super interesting how close it is. I don't know. I don't know anything, but I think it's super interesting. I try to keep an open mind about it because there is that whole debate between like young Earth, old Earth, all this different stuff. Carbon dating is awesome. Carbon dating is flawed, blah, 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 blah. It's super interesting and fun to dive into a bunch of rabbit holes concerning the Genesis account. And I would say Genesis 1 through 3 are one of my favorite books of the Bible, and I have a really fun time reading them over and over again. So that is my first video. Thank you all for watching. If anybody watches, this is day one. Boom. Peace out. God bless. Hell yeah. See you later.